On the play, intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding on the offense. Intentional grounding, number 1.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 15.
Welcome to Intentional Grounding, episode
Spooktober.
10.
Episode 10, week 8.
It's officially Spooktober.
Come on.
It was last week, too.
Sponsored by my Tennessee Volunteers.
Sponsored
'cause they
by
scare
the
me.
month of October.
Yeah, dude. How you feeling? We haven't talked anything. Welcome in. Like and subscribe. Click the videos. Click and listen. But yeah, live reaction. Binky, how you feeling? You went to
I'm scared.
the Tennessee-Florida game.
I did.
Billy Napier almost
Squeaked it out.
squeaked it out. Like it was... Well, I didn't watch any of that game.
I'm
give
glad you
What
didn't.
are you feeling? What are you feeling towards your team?
I'm feeling sad.
Yeah.
I'm feeling sad. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling sad.
You won. Why are you sad?
Because our offensive line is going to kill Nico.
He's
and
fast.
they suck. But we got Bama this week.
Yeah.
And They See Land of Light is a song about Tennessee. And that's what I'm going to hang my hat on. I think we're going to beat Bama this weekend. Even though I have nothing on paper besides the fact... Actually, no, there's a couple things on paper that make me think we're going to win, but my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes.
I think there's a song like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I also found out that Haley Welch, the Hawk Tuah girl, is a Tennessee fan, so we might be screwed.
Yeah.
But
we should try and get her on our podcast.
I actually have an idea for a new guest that I'll tell you guys about when we touch on the SEC.
Oh, okay.
But I'm a little nervous. But it was a great weekend. Good to see family. Knoxville is always beautiful this time of year.
Yeah.
Got to see a lot of good people, catch up with some folks, and got food poisoning Saturday night, which was sick.
Last night?
Post-game?
Saturday
Post-game,
night?
yeah, I had
Oh my God.
two chicken sandwiches that have been sitting out at a tailgate all day,
Chick-fil-A?
which is totally on me. But we're chilling. Happy to be here. It is the OG3 here in the studio tonight.
Yeah.
Happy. They'll be listening to this on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Wednesday.
October 15th.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's cool outside.
It's very cool.
The
It should
heat
be
is
about
on in your house.
It should be about
Beautiful
45
weather this
degrees right
weekend.
now if you're listening at
Yeah.
7:38 a.m.
The weather is going to pick up and the traffic is going to continue, but just turn us up a little louder and we'll take you to work slowly and surely.
This is completely off topic and it doesn't have anything in relation to college football, but you see Raleigh was ranked the number 1 place to drive in the country.
Yeah, I saw that. What does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't know how they decide that.
The number one place to drive
In the country.
Like
in the
Which
like
sucks.
city traffic or something like that. Like the
Traffic's
number
not
one.
bad.
Traffic
No,
isn't
it's not bad, but it's like,
it's really
why would
only
you boast
bad
about that?
Yeah, that means we don't have anybody living here.
Yeah. We have empty buildings.
We have
Our
so
streets
many.
are huge.
Yeah. We can't
There
keep
really
a restaurant
isn't-
alive to save our lives in downtown Raleigh.
You're so right.
It's true. I don't know. Shout out Benchwarmers Bagels. Not a sponsor, but they could be, honestly. But they are opening a third location, so that's
Second.
Oh, second. You're right.
Well, I guess technically
Bright Spot.
it is a third.
Yeah.
But
They
like,
sell bagels there.
but then like, is it a fourth for Bolted?
I don't know. You know the scene, man.
True.
I don't know the bagel industry.
All right, guys, welcome in. Little overview of today's episode. We're going to do a conference update. We'll go through the Power Four and a little bit of Group of Five. Just touch on last weekend and what games went on, what games didn't go on, what teams played, what teams didn't play. We'll look at some standings and schedules for the season. Then we're going to do a new segment called Expectation versus Reality. We're going to take a team that we were really high on at the beginning of the season and look at their failures. And then we'll take a team that we actually... the way that I described that,
I think
when I was telling y'all, is completely opposite of what I just said.
Oh, no.
Underperformer versus overperformer.
Underperformer versus overperformer is really
Yeah.
what I mean. So, yes.
Yep.
So we'll look at underperformers for the season and overperformers for the season team wise.
Yep.
And then we'll do overreactions again.
Yep.
That was fun last week. We'll get into betting corner. We'll hear from Juice. He's not in the studio today, but you'll get a little clip from him.
Get juicy.
And we'll, as always, pick our picks.
Come on. I had a great week. I can't wait to talk about what happened.
Yeah, how was your week, Alex?
I don't really want to talk about it, but
We're talking picks.
I guess I need
Yeah.
to look at what Juice's bets.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll talk about it.
an
He'll talk about it.
insane week. Spoiler: I got almost everything right if you look at it one way. But I guess let's go into any crazy news updates across the board. This is kind of where everything kind
Kirby
of simmers
Smart is a
out.
fraud.
We can let's touch about
Yeah.
that.
Kirby
Let's talk
Smart.
about
What,
it
'cause
in
the pushing?
SEC.
He shoved Mississippi State's quarterback.
That was so weird. Why did he do that?
Well, of course,
Welcome to the SEC.
because Kirby's an asshole. Bleep that out.
He does wear visors. I don't really like visor guys.
Kirby Smart, he's such a good coach, but I hate him.
He is really good.
Kirby Smart's an a-hole. That's an
It
update.
looks so good.
Chick-fil-A.
The pimento.
My update is kind of a question. I don't know if anybody in college football is actually good this year. Texas,
yeah.
maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, it's insanity.
Yeah.
I think over the next next few weeks, we're going to start to see some teams separate themselves.
We
from the
just
pack,
hold that in thought.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hold that thought.
Yep.
One big
That's
news.
my update.
One big
Sponsored
news.
by
I will
Mentos.
say,
Dog food.
Navy and Army ranked for
Yeah.
the first time together in the top 25 polls since 1960.
Oh, wow.
So
84 years.
yeah, kind of crazy.
That is...
Actually, really crazy.
That's actually a pretty dang big deal.
I
Yeah.
just said 84.
And did you see
64
their
years. My
stats?
math and
Their
wasn't
leading
math.
rusher and passer on the team is their quarterback.
I love that.
Army
It's
or
amazing.
Navy?
Both.
Wow.
So when they play each other, it's going to be electric.
Yeah, that's gonna be
game of offense.
Yeah,
Yeah, end of the season. Yeah, we could see them in the playoff 12 team. I guess other big news, Indiana is still
Fire on all
undefeated. They're
cylinders.
ranked 16th, creeping right up on Boise State at 15.
Ashton Genty. That's got another update. Ashton Genty, still that guy.
Still good.
His Ashton Genty's line last week was set for 183 and a half yards of rushing.
Did
Yeah.
he hit the over?
He hit the over.
He hit the over.
Oh, what a
Isn't that
legend!
insane?
Yeah.
That is the craziest
Dude,
line.
he needs to win the Heisman.
So he was projected to have
He was projected. Well, the over/under line was set
At 184.
183. Yeah, 184.
yeah.
So you either pick over or under.
Yeah.
And
That is
I
crazy.
think he destroyed it.
That's crazy.
I love. Oh, he's
And
so
the fact
fun.
that Travis Hunter got hurt too, so he's probably like, if he misses games, like there's a clear path for
I
a
think
Boise State Heisman.
I
Yeah.
will say, I think it's a matter of fact if Boise is good. Like if they lose
they
a couple
keep-
games,
If
like if they lose 2 games,
well,
they're
they've already
done.
lost one. They lost to Oregon, which is
a
looking
fine
better and better
loss.
every day.
That's fine.
They should have beat them, to be honest. Like
and
they went to
Ashton
overtime.
Genty still ran all
You're
over
so
them.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're so right.
Yeah,
But I will say if they're a 3-loss team, I mean, especially.
I think they'd be fine if they're 3-loss. They're 4-loss. That's where I think the threshold kind of
But
is.
I think if they're a 3-loss team, they don't make the playoff. I think you have to look at Cam Ward if they go undefeated.
If
But
Cam Ward's undefeated?
I think that's where there's a lot of stuff in the air. Like if you're taking, you have to take the player. The way that they look at the Heisman is so weird because it's essentially like
the best player,
quarterback on the
It's
best
not-
team.
yeah, best quarterback on the best team.
Yeah, but they look for flashy plays. Like who's the
Highlights.
star?
Because I guess Jaden Daniels.
Well, then if we're basing on that, Joe Melton should have won the Heisman last year. Did you know he can throw an orange 115
Well, I mean-
yards?
Jaden Daniels won it, and he was not like they were still like an 8 or 9 win team, right? They weren't like the best team.
Did we ever even really talk about
No,
Jaden
I think
Daniels'
we
Heisman last
forgot.
year?
We never did.
We missed like 2
It was a pretty
episodes.
forgettable Heisman season.
Yeah, like last year.
And I'm probably going to get scorched for that one. I actually don't really know his stats, but
I mean, he looked really well.
He was amazing. We just didn't
and
talk
he's
about
doing
it.
really good in the NFL.
Yeah.
he is doing well in the
Like,
NFL.
Caleb Williams also.
He's
Not
starting
doing
to
bad.
figure it out.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
figuring it out.
So is Bryce
Anyways,
Young.
this
But
is
going
a
on to the
college
next
football
topic.
podcast.
Yeah. College football. We're here. We're the experts to bring it straight to you. We got the OG crew going in today. Pat went through the agenda for us, so I guess let's just jump into some conference updates. So I guess let's start with the SEC. Binky, who'd you like this week? What went down?
Yeah.
Any big games that are of note?
Yeah. First one comes to my mind: Texas Red River Shootout. Red River Shootout. Excuse me.
Showdown.
Showdown.
It's hard.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Not a fun game. Texas looks very, very good. Took Oklahoma to the woodshed. Final score 34-3 there.
Yeah.
Nothing of note. Quinn Ewers firing on all cylinders.
Slow first quarter.
Slow first quarter, but I mean that's to be expected with the quarterback that's been out for a couple weeks. I'm gonna try and knock off some of the blowouts. Missouri, we don't even talk about. They killed the University of Massachusetts.
They played at UMass too, which is kind of crazy.
That is wild. I feel like they've played some weird games. Like,
Yeah.
I remember they played at Boston College.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago.
Which is Mizzou's a weird team.
Two boring games this weekend. How about Vanderbilt? Squeaked out a dub. They're now 2-1.
They beat Kentucky.
2-1 in the SEC.
Yeah, dude.
Vandy's going to be going bowling most likely.
Yeah.
4-2 overall. Diego Pavia, Nashville's Johnny Manziel,
Skip Bayless
is
going insane right
alive
now.
and well. Yeah, our brother podcast over at Pardon My Take.
Yeah. They got to, we'll
had
have
on
Skip
Skip
on
Bayless.
next week. Skip, if you're listening, you're welcome next week, but not the week
Yeah,
after.
he will be flying into Raleigh next week to hop on with us.
Yep.
Vanderbilt takes down Kentucky 20-13. Let's see. We can go ahead and talk about Florida, Tennessee real quick.
Wait, before you move on there, Bingy,
yep.
I got a question there. If Vandy goes on, like if they have a really good season, like they make a bowl, have like 7 wins, do you think their coach is gone? Or you think that Vanderbilt is actually a program he would stay at and build?
That's a great question. I think from
in
what
the
I've
SEC.
seen, he seems like the kind of guy that's pretty loyal.
Yeah, he stayed 2 years at each program, right? He's worked his way up. Because he was at New Mexico, and then he was at New Mexico State.
Well, no. Are you talking about the head coach?
Head coach.
Clark Lee's been there for 4 or 5 years now.
Oh, is he
you're
not?
thinking of the coordinator, offensive coordinator.
I am thinking of the coordinator. Yeah.
Clark Lee, the head coach, I think, I don't know. It's honestly a great question. My guess would be he stays because the expectations are so low. He can make SEC salary.
Yeah. That's true. You do have job security if you just win
sure.
like 6 games,
Yeah,
maybe.
as long as you're going bowling at Vandy, you're good.
Yeah.
But
God, they had a
They could finally
hard-
finish their stadium if they get some money.
Yeah.
They had a tough schedule this year.
Yeah, they got Ball State this weekend. Put them probably at 5 wins, and then if they can squeak out a win over either Texas, Auburn, South Carolina, LSU, or the Volunteers, they'll be going bowling. So let's see. They actually probably won't be. You know what? I don't know. We'll see. Great win for Vandy. It's always, y'all know I love Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah, you're a big Vanderbilt guy.
Always been a big Vandy fan. It's
Can't
fun
wait.
fun to see the little brother win.
Yep.
Let's just gonna go real quick through Florida, Tennessee. Tennessee did win. That's great. But our offensive line is horrible, and it really scares me. I think Nico might die this upcoming weekend against Alabama. Actually sounds really bad to say. I don't wish that to happen, but Tennessee pulls out the win in overtime, 23-17, after trailing 10-0.
Yeah.
Not ideal for the Vols, but a win is a win is a win is a win. Rushing attack remains probably one of the best in the country. Dylan Sampson is 4 touchdowns away. Our running back is 4 touchdowns away from tying or beating the all-time season touchdown record for Tennessee. It's great.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Vols. I left a little bit early. I rage left because I looked at my brothers and my dad and said, I've seen this way too many times. We're going to lose. And emotions got the best of me. And I think I was a good luck charm for leaving. And if I wouldn't have left, we would have lost that game. So shout out to me.
Yeah.
Georgia, Mississippi State. What a confusing game. Oh
I didn't
my
watch this
God.
one either. Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. What happened?
Georgia was winning pretty handily most of the game. I think they were up 27-10 at halftime.
Yeah.
Mississippi State crawled back, scored 2 touchdowns, and then Georgia had to squeak out a late touchdown to win the game.
Insane.
And Mississippi State is, keep in mind, they are 1-5 and 0-3 in the conference. This Georgia team is the whole SEC, the SEC as a whole outside of Texas is just so confusing. But I know it's weird to say, but I kind of love it.
It's more Big 12-ish.
It is like this year we're kind of Big 12-y.
Yeah. People don't like the Big 10 because it's very top heavy.
Yeah.
But Big 12 and SEC now.
Yeah.
You could say it's more fun to watch any given Saturday.
As
they would say.
Great movie.
The
Magnolia Bowl. Juice is not here. We don't get to get his comments, unfortunately, but
that was sad.
Both teams look pretty good. LSU squeaks it out in overtime. Kyron Lacey, the wide receiver for LSU, is an absolute animal. Shout out to LSU. Officially top 10 team in the country and a team that not many people were talking about preseason, including myself, to be contending for that as one of those SEC bids in the playoff. And they've positioned themselves really well here. So shout out to the Tigers. And to finish it off here, let's touch on Bama. Bama's on my mind because we got them next weekend. Probably should have lost to South Carolina this weekend.
Yeah.
South Carolina throws a game-ending interception to Alabama. I don't even really have a ton of comments. The 3 best players on the field for that game were all South Carolina players.
Yeah.
Lenore Sellers, Raheem Sanders. Well, I guess Bernard at Bama, the wide receiver, is probably up there too. But
yeah,
what a confusing game. SEC is absolute madness right now, and I love it. I wish Tennessee was starting to separate themselves, but they haven't done that yet. But we're going to start to see some of these teams separate themselves from the pack here over the next few weeks, and that'll be interesting. So what's going on in the South? Neyland, I will say, this weekend, as scary as the game was, Neyland was absolutely electric. Probably
pretty loud.
Absolutely electric.
A lot of orange, some checkered.
Checkered the end zone. Checkered the end zone, checkered the stadium. We've always checkered the end zone. But yeah, absolutely electric environment.
Pinky's
in
still
Knoxville.
recovering.
And yeah, excited to give it to Bama this weekend. What's going on over in the ACC?
The ACC, I want to point out, if we look at the standings, currently the last place team at 0-3 in conference and 3-4. It's a 3-way tie between Cal, North Carolina, and North Carolina State. So really dark days, I think, here in the Triangle for these football teams. None are fun to talk about right now because NC State lost to Syracuse. Syracuse is pretty good, honestly.
Kyle McCord.
Yeah, Kyle McCord's great. Big things, I'd say, from ACC. Clemson still rolling. Miami still rolling. Pitt is sneaking in.
Undefeated.
They're undefeated. They've kind of gone...
they've flown under the radar.
They haven't really played... They played a lot of close games, so that's why they weren't ranked sooner, I think. But I do think... I watched a lot of their game. They looked decent. They kind of squeaked by, but I'm excited to watch them.
Is the Calgorithm officially deactivated?
Cal blew it. Cal probably should have won. I was thinking about when that came to an end. It was a very close game because the week before, they lost to Miami, obviously, and then losing to Pitt 17-15. I was like, man, if I'm Cal, I could be literally could have been undefeated in the past weeks. They've lost from Florida State. They lost by 5, 9-14. Miami, they lost by 1, 39-38 after blowing a 25-point lead. And Pitt, they lose. I think Pitt hit a field goal at the end, so they were literally they were up by 1, and then Pitt.
Cal was, yeah.
Yeah. So luckily now they have NC State coming over there to.
It's looking like an easy win.
Hopefully, yeah, they can get some. And their schedule evens out. They have Wake Forest, Oregon State, Syracuse, Stanford, and they end at SMU. So I think Cal's going to make a bowl.
Yeah.
Shout out Cal. That's great for y'all. Calgorithm's still going on. The other things to point out, I guess, in the ACC is Louisville. Louisville is
snuck right on out of there.
Yeah, they survived as well. But the Cardinals they're 4-2. They obviously lost to SMU, and they lost to Notre Dame, both in close games. But they barely beat Virginia last week, and now they got Miami. So we'll see what you're made of, Louisville. I could see. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami blew that one. Miami has been hit or miss. It's Cam Ward's show to pull them out every time. So we'll see what happens. The big thing, I guess, to point on the ACC from my perspective is keep an eye on SMU because for some reason they're staying alive.
You got a feeling?
I got a feeling that if Miami drops one, that leaves Pitt and SMU are both undefeated in conference at 2-0.
What about Clemson?
Clemson, I think, is definitely going to be in with the rest of their schedule. Looking out, they play kind of front loaded their schedule. Mm-hmm. I think they can win out and get in the championship. They just got to take care of business. They're also blowing teams out.
They found a
since
rhythm
that Georgia lost, they've
I know they've killed every single team.
Yeah, but yeah, SMU actually plays Pitt on November 2nd. So keep an eye on for that game. It's going to be electric. We should actually think about going to see SMU at Duke because it would be fun to see SMU. But that's a ACC conference. What do we got for the Big 12, which was showing some action this week?
We had some good games and some not good games at all. Let's first off,
what the hell, Utah?
Utah's done.
Dude.
Utah's
Cam
done.
Rising.
Yeah,
that was news. We should talk about that.
Well, I wanted to save it.
Dude.
So Cam Rising, 3 interceptions, 16 for 37.
Yep.
In this loss to Arizona
He was
State.
hurt.
He was hurt.
His hurt, like his foot was like not working.
He is not playing for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's sitting
and
out.
technically has eligibility to come back for an 8th season.
Year 8, baby.
He has not said anything whether he will come back or not. I mean, it's early news.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm done with Cam Rising. I just don't want to talk about it. He's been around for too long.
Yeah.
Man just needs to give up the dream and
what
die.
What would he be, 29?
8 years? No.
Yeah.
He started as 19-year-old?
Okay. So not 29.
97?
26, 27?
Yeah. It's still old.
We're going to take a quick break before we continue on with Big 12. This podcast is brought to you by Seagram's. Not a sponsor, just a fan.
So yeah, Arizona State, sneaky win against Utah. Arizona State could be good this year. Their one loss is to Texas Tech. I will speak a little bit on that later. Iowa State, West Virginia. This game looked closer than it kind of was. Iowa State took it away. 28-16. Arizona BYU, what I thought was actually going to be like a decent game.
Not at
Something
all.
happens when a team travels to BYU.
It's the Mormon injury energy.
BYU is insane right now.
They are
I believe
soaking with wins.
They're playing under the banner of heaven.
I believe they're 13 right now. Yeah, they're ranked 13th. They're the best ranked 13. 13th for that team is crazy. I think they could be top 10.
We talk about this every week.
Oh,
what was their
should be.
schedule at the beginning of the game? Because their first game, they played week 0, and I was like, this team is going to be awful.
Well, they were predicted to be the worst team in the Big 12.
Yeah. What was it? They lost?
Their projected
they
win total was 3.5, I think.
Oh, that's SMU's only loss. That's crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, they beat SMU, and I was like, man, these teams are going to be awful. It's like...
And they're both good.
Yeah. Oh, my
Cincinnati,
gosh.
UCF, snooze fest.
Yep.
19-13.
Yeah, we were I think we should all put our hands up there, and because I remember I think it was us three that were pretty high on UCF.
Yeah.
Heading into the season, and
I
they
was
were
high,
4-0.
I was high on UCF.
they
Came in
suck,
4-0.
dude.
I was high on UCF.
They suck.
Or no,
Oh,
3-0.
man.
Sorry.
They started the season 3-0.
Yeah, they started 3-0, and then Colorado just blew them out of nowhere.
That'll kill you for sure.
And
At
then
home.
In the bounce house, come on, man.
I think Utah Arizona State was the game of the week, but someone could argue Kansas State Colorado came down to the wire. Actually, Travis Hunter left early in the game with an apparent shoulder injury. Dion has addressed nothing really.
Well, they're not really required to in college.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, we don't know anything about Travis Hunter.
Yeah, no one's saying
We
nothing.
don't. He could miss time. He couldn't miss time. Who knows?
He's probably tired. That's my guess.
He is probably tired.
He played a full season already, basically, with all the snaps.
But Kansas State pulled it out in Boulder. Crazy game. I personally did not stay up to watch it,
I did.
but I saw the
boring.
highlights. So
It was actually, the third quarter was pretty boring because it was both teams could not score. Like, they were
okay.
just trying to, like, the defenses were just going after each other. So I guess it was exciting, but it's the big plays. The crazy part of this whole game was that Travis Hunter was out, and then two other Colorado players went out, and then one of their DBs got out. So they were missing basically two people on defense and then three people on offense because Travis Hunter counts for two people, essentially. And so Shadur also has to run for his life every play still because the offensive line can give you one block, maybe a series. And so he's just laterally going back and forth and then chucking a ball up. There was probably, I think, 3 or 4 intentional grounding calls, and then there was going to be like a 5th one.
That's good for the brand.
It's great for the brand.
Good for us.
We should record that, actually. But there was going to be a 5th one, a funny moment, and then the refs came together and picked up the flag, and they were like, actually, his hand got hit. And the announcer was like, I don't think his hand got hit. I think he just-
well, I mean, speaking of Shadur, like his
An 85% completion
34
rate.
for 40 attempts.
No, it's
He
impressive that he put up work with
threw
all
the
these
ball.
like second, you know.
388 yards, 3 touchdowns. Impressive. Honestly, impressive game.
I will say he lost the game at the end for him. Like if you weren't watching, basically Colorado came back, took the lead. They were down by 10.
How much time was left? I watched highlights, but
They went up with like maybe 3 minutes left in the game, and then blown coverage on the next drive so Kansas State scores just a long toss. DB just got beat basically. So Shadur has the ball with like under 2 minutes left, and they're driving down the field. They get like a couple first downs. They're at the 50-yard line. It's 4th down because they almost got another intentional grounding call, basically. So they lost it down. And then he had a couple wide open man he could check it to. They had a timeout in the middle of the field, but he went for a touchdown on the right, tossed it up. It was a good throw. It probably looked like pass interference, but then no call, and that's the end of the game. So we went for – it was a low IQ play, as they would say, from the experts.
Well,
I've seen plenty of those in my life. That's for sure.
yeah. Not much happened else in the Big 12. I guess I covered everything. But I'll transfer over into Big 10, which, I mean, kind of a crazy week. We had a couple nail-biters. First off, let's talk about Northwestern Maryland.
Maryland
Just kidding.
sucks.
Maryland's trash. Northwestern wins by a shit ton. Game of the week, Ohio State, Oregon.
Yeah.
Actually comes down to the wire.
Yeah. At Oregon.
And what a fuck up.
Yeah.
Are
Awful.
you talking about Kyle McCord? Not Kyle McCord. Yeah, Kyle McCord.
Kyle McCord
Wait,
No.
plays for Syracuse now.
See,
Transfer portal. It gets you.
who is their
What?
quarterback?
Will Howard.
Will
Will
Howard. That's it.
What a dumb ass play.
Yeah,
What
adapt.
a dumb
as
ass
the kids are calling
play
it.
to
Yeah.
just run the ball
Yeah.
up the middle of the
With
field.
the slide, I mean, the run was. I don't. Yeah. Oh god.
Throw
was
the
so
ball
bad.
away, or just throw it.
Give
up.
your team just fucking throw that thing into the moon.
You cannot run the ball. That was the last thing you can do.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was a really...
Literally, they snapped the ball so fast, too. Like,
Yeah, that was a bad... That's
Yeah.
just a brutal way to lose the game.
It was kind of like the Cowboys going back to NFL last year. It was the almost exact same play where just like low IQ, like. Also, if you're hearing something in the background, it's a little puppy that's really sweet and snoring softly. So, if you can't take that,
Get
you
your
can
little
just
puppy
she sleeps
ASMR.
with her eye open, which is
she does.
freaky.
Well,
She's the cutest dog.
she's got to
She's
keep
so
it up.
cute.
So shout out Georgia. Do you guys want to hear my tweets from watching this Saturday?
Sure. Or they,
Are they Big Ten?
They were Big Ten, yeah.
All right, let's hear them.
We started with Oregon. That was it.
Oregon?
Oregon. and then I tweeted right when USC scored, Miller is mossing, #USC.
Okay. How many? Okay, keep going.
Hold on. We'll go game by game on your tweets. But
Yep.
speaking of Miller's mossing, Penn State pulls out an overtime victory over that school out in California.
Yep.
Which was a great game. USC is the best 3-3 team I've seen play football.
Yeah. They're not
It's-
frauds this year.
I don't think they are. They're a good team. They just keep having really bad luck.
Yeah.
And they won the game they were up 20-6
Yeah.
in the first half and then
Yeah.
just blew it in the second half. But
Yeah.
again, that's a defensive.
It's bad coaching is what that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is bad coaching.
Those two games, Ohio State and Oregon and USC Penn State, are basically conference realignments, like wet dream, essentially, of what they wanted this to be. Like when we were like, hey, this sucks. And then we got these amazing
We need
games.
some offense infiltrated in the Big Ten.
Yeah. We were like, this is going to ruin everything.
Yeah.
Football's over. And then we got a Saturday of like USC playing
Yeah.
a conference game
yeah, and
at
then
Penn State.
And then we got our offense.
we got our
on two
offense.
Yeah.
We got a 99-point game with Purdue and Illinois.
the two offensive
Yeah.
powerhouses.
How did Purdue put up 49 points on a 5-1, or I guess at the time 4-1 Illinois team? Crazy.
I don't know.
Went to overtime in
I
that
can't
game.
explain it.
Looks like I didn't watch this game, but from what I'm seeing, they tried to go for 2. They tried to win the game on 2, and they went. Oh, Purdue, that would have been awesome.
Oh, Purdue.
Go for dose.
Tried to go
Shout
for
out to
2.
Suckies. Not a sponsor.
That's right. Just a
Iowa steamrolled Washington. Wisconsin steamrolled.
Yeah,
Rutgers?
come on. Pause. Iowa scored 40 points, and they beat Washington, who just beat Michigan.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, college football is so electric
Yeah,
this
yeah.
year.
Wisconsin 42-7 on Rutgers, and Minnesota 21-17 against UCLA. UCLA is ass
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, they sure are.
Dude, the thing that stood out to me though about like Big Ten this week is that Michigan sucks. Honestly, I think they're overrated still.
Well, I wanted to this isn't necessarily Michigan related, but we kind of breezed through the Ohio State Oregon game. I think we need to give it just a little
we can
bit
give
more
it a
clout
little.
here.
Yeah, it was really good.
Was
We
your
should
mic
probably talk
off
about it.
as you gave that take?
No. I did.
Oh,
I'm switching
smart
over.
man. Smart man. What an atmosphere in Eugene.
Yeah.
There,
Game day.
dude. I think that's the best college football atmosphere in the Big Ten for sure.
Did you see one
Austin
of
is
the guest speakers said that
electric.
she lost her virginity?
What
Like right
was
before
it?
she gave the
Caitlin.
pick.
It's a lady from Always Sunny, right?
Yeah.
Comedian.
She's like, I lost my virginity here. Sorry, Dad. And that
Wow.
was the final pick.
All right. Shout out to Oregon. Dan Lanning, hell of a win. Will Howard, you're a numbskull, but good thing for Ohio State is they play in the Big Ten, so they have a cakewalk of a schedule the rest of the season. They're still going to be fine. Oregon really positioned themselves very well. I think it's safe to say that they're probably a lock, absolute lock for the playoff. So,
Yeah.
Big Ten corner. Here we go. Shout out Purdue and Illinois, the two offensive powerhouses.
Shout them out.
To cover Group of 5 real quick, Boise State did Boise State things.
Yeah, it's Boise State, and we hinted at early Navy and Army. They're the story.
There's like not a lot of
nothing else is really
going
sticking
on
out right now. I mean, it's honestly in the same way the SEC and Big 12 are feasting on each other. So the Group of Five is just feasting on each other, and there's so many conferences that it's kind of hard. I mean, at the top, I'd say like American, you have Army and Navy are tied. Tulane's middle of the pack this year. UAB is awful. We have in the Sun Belt, basically App is falling off. They lost by 10 to Louisiana, Raging Cajuns. You got Buffalo leading the MAC right now, which is crazy.
I know they destroyed Toledo.
They beat Toledo, yeah, and Toledo was already one loss in. Mountain West, I mean, is the most interesting besides the American, I would say.
You completely blew over Sunbelt.
Yeah, I mean, Sunbelt is interesting. I was getting to it in an end. I was going to do... So essentially, the Sunbelt is weird because JMU is 5-1, but that's... They're not even top of the conference right now. We have Georgia Southern is leading the East Division. And then UL Monroe, the Warhawks, shout out to Cali.
Who I legitimately thought at the beginning of the season was the worst team in college football.
They usually are. They are...
Like, if you play NCAA... If you play...
With the Warhawks.
With the Warhawks, they are hands down probably the worst team.
I asked Callie what they did for fun at UL Monroe, and she said there was a bayou they'd go and swim in. And so that sounds kind of dangerous.
Both UL Monroe and Louisiana are 5-1.
Yeah. App is 0-3 in conference, last in the East Division. They're 2-4. It's probably not looking good if I'm Sean Clark. Probably it's getting to a point where fans on Twitter are not even saying mean things anymore. They're just asking for mercy for the rest of the season. And I'm in all the App State like ticket exchange for season ticket holders, and they're all just every game. It's like, well, I'm not going to this one if anybody wants them, like $10 essentially. But the big story, I'd say, if you're Group of Five teams, the conferences to look out for are Mountain West Conference and the American. Honestly, this week we'll kind of probably talk about it. Maybe I haven't looked at the picks, but Boise State and UNLV are playing each other. So this will be probably like
Boise State and what?
UNLV are playing each other this week. They're both 2-0 in conference. They're both 5-1. So we'll see what happens there. It honestly,
that's a trap game. I don't want to go anywhere near that.
Yeah, I don't want to touch it. UNLV
I don't want to touch that game.
But at the same time, you're Boise. Just give it to.
Yeah, but
Jancy.
That's it. That's literally what they do. Like that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, if your running back's the best player on your team, that's not typically a sign of a championship team.
Yeah,
Looking
but it
at
is
you, Tennessee. Figure it out, please.
Looking at you,
The one
Oklahoma
thing-
State.
one like worry. One worry I'd have for this playoff hopes is if Army and Navy just start losing, so that they're not going to be a bid for it. Boise State, if they just lose to UNLV and then they have 2 losses. They'd have to win their conference championship, which would probably be against UNLV again. There's a clear path that Liberty could just be the 12th team in the playoff and just get smacked because I watch them and they like literally are awful.
I think that's what a lot of
Good morning, Georgia.
See you, Georgia.
Georgia. I think that's
potty.
what a lot of what you're talking about. Let's say, Boise State loses a couple games, Army Navy drop 1 or 2. That'd be really good for some of the Power 4 teams because that means that opens. There's a world in which there's only one Group of 5 bid right now. On paper, preseason there was really only going to be one Group of 5 bid, but some of these Group of 5 teams have been playing really well. To where we could honestly have a Boise State and swap out either Army or Navy in there to have 2.
Yeah.
If only one gets in, that's really good for Big Ten, SEC.
The beautiful thing about Army and Navy is they don't play each other till the end of the season every year. So as long as they're undefeated, like they control their destiny.
Yeah.
There could be a scenario where they both get into the playoff.
That would be awesome.
And they would basically play back-to-back weeks.
That would be neat.
The championship right into playoff. But yeah, keeping out Group of 5, it's insane. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do some expectations
Now for
versus
a-
reality.
Sure.
A new segment.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
this new segment. Expectation versus reality. Teams that were now
Underachiever versus
teams
overachiever.
that-
God, I cannot put that
Yeah, who-
word
we're
in my
We're
mind.
each gonna pick a team.
Yeah,
I cannot put that in my mind.
That we
what
had
that
high
means.
hopes for at the beginning of the season
yeah.
and have failed to meet those expectations. And we're gonna each pick a team that we were not super high on that have exceeded expectation and are kind of proving us wrong.
Yeah, let's do a snake draft. We'll start with Binky. You give one high team, then Pat gives a high team. I'll do high, and then I'll do my low, and then we go back, and you end
Okay.
at Bink. Got it?
Yep, get it, got it. Good. My team that I expect to be really good at the beginning of the season. I wouldn't even say really good. The team that I expected to at least compete in the ACC, it's obvious, is Florida State.
Yep.
We all
It's a
know what's
layup.
happened with them. How many games have they won? 2?
Yeah.
One.
Have they only won one?
Yeah, they're 1-5.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Florida State Seminoles. DJ Uia Poopy Stinks. Just a bad year for the Noles, and I was very wrong on that. So that's going to be my high team that underachieved.
Do it. Pat?
High team that underachieved first.
Yes.
Who were you high on before that's not doing well now?
I was really high on App State.
Yeah.
Damn
Damn it, both were mine.
What?
Those are both mine.
Really?
I had like a list in my head. I was like, I'll just go with this.
I was really high on App State. I saw them as a 10-plus win team.
Yep.
With losses to maybe Liberty and Clemson. And I thought they were going to battle for the Group of 5 spot. And obviously that didn't turn out how
What's the-
predicted.
Just while we're on this, Gilly, from your perspective, what's the problem?
I think the coaching,
Okay.
short and sweet, needs to change because this is the best team we've had talent wise. But App's never had to use the transfer portal like this. We got all new. We got D1 like 5-star, 4-star, 5-star recruits to come in, redid the whole offensive line. So it's like that's hard. Sean Clark is an offensive lineman. He played at App, and he wants to run the ball and play defense, and we can't do either of those things.
Yeah.
So that means Joey has to throw it every time, and you can't win if you don't have like
The fundamental.
the best
football
offensive
team,
line, and you're throwing it every time.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
App State coming into the season had the best odds to win the Sun Belt.
Yep.
And they were projected.
Joey was preseason picked for Sun Belt Player of the Year, basically in all the like rankings. So
which upsetting.
yeah, he's not gonna.
I
get
think
that.
especially like in a community too where there's a ton of App fans, it's just depressing.
Yeah, it's. I feel like
I didn't even watch a single bit of that game.
Yeah, I watched it on my phone while I played cornhole outside, basically. But yeah, I understand how NC State fans feel now because I had a lot of high hopes and then nothing came to fruition. So my team actually, ironically, is going to be NC State because I had high hopes for them. I think they could have. This was their year. Dave Doran's been a 9-win coach all his life. Every fan says he's just a 9-win coach. But they're in the back of their head, they're just like, well, 9 wins is good. Maybe he can just get over the hump. We'll get some people in the transfer portal. And almost just like the App State scenario on a grander scale, maybe Grayson McCall was good at Coastal. Maybe he was playing against some Sun Belt defenses for 3 years.
Just maybe.
Maybe
he was
that's
playing
why his
against some
stats
Sunbelt
were
defense.
insane. But he actually, I was high on him. I was like, yeah. They get a line. They got Concepcion. They can just throw it to him, and wouldn't you know it, just not going out for him. So that's mine.
Speaking of Kevin Contraception, what team do y'all think he's inevitably going to transfer to in this offseason?
Whatever connections in money, honestly. But how many? He has a couple more years left, so he could actually go and
Do you
play.
think Cam Ward stays?
No, because he was thinking about going to the draft last year.
'Cause I was thinking Concepcion could go to Miami when
That's-
you said that. To be honest, that
was my only.
be electric.
That'll be interesting to see.
Low expectation team that is actually improving. I'm going SMU. I didn't think they were going to adjust well to the ACC coming from American. And now they're sitting at 4th in the ACC with not getting any revenue. So give me the
Yeah.
Mustangs.
Shout out to them. We have a dog on the couch officially.
Finally,
Pat, snake draft. Who you got?
Georgia.
Hi, Georgia.
Georgia's the name of the dog.
I'm going with Arizona State. Ironically, Binky walked in on me earlier, and I was playing my dynasty game for.
Well, that was after I walked in on you doing something else. But
We don't have to. No, we don't have to start that.
The rumor mill.
he was praying.
Ironically, I was playing Arizona State, App State in my dynasty
Nice.
game earlier, but Arizona State is my team I'm eye on now. Like at the beginning of the season, they were projected to win 2.5 games over under 2.5 games in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 5.
They're doing well.
and they're doing well. They beat Utah.
Yeah.
They beat Arizona.
Yeah.
Right? No, they haven't played Arizona yet.
haven't played
Who's
yet.
their only loss is Texas Tech, and that was a nail biter of a game.
Yeah.
And Texas Tech
Is also sitting pretty nice.
doing great.
Yeah. They're right above them. in
Two
conference.
sleepers for the Big 12 right now are Arizona State and Texas Tech. So I like Arizona State a little bit more just because of the fact that they
Dog
licking
on the
that
mic.
mic.
Dog on the
Licking
mic.
that
Yeah. She's like, I got stuff to say.
I like Arizona State just a little more because they're the underdog, but their schedule is, I think, much easier than Texas State's going forward. I think they only play Kansas State as far as like ranked teams go. They don't play Iowa State. They don't play BYU, or they only play Iowa State. They don't play the other teams. So I like Arizona State's odds going forward.
All right.
Love it.
Shout out Kenny Dillingham. So much of me wants to take Indiana here, just because they have just went from rags to riches over
Yeah.
the past few weeks. But
Coach Sig.
I gotta go with the fighting BY Jews
Yeah.
and BYU. Give me the Cougars. They're perennially a pretty good team, 8-9 win team.
But this year,
they've been rolling people over so far this year, and
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what their schedule looks like the rest of the year, but feeling pretty confident that they could be definitely one of the potentially 2 Big 12 bids. So give me the BY Jews.
Love it.
we can take a look at what their schedule is.
Yeah,
'cause
I'm
I'm
actually
actually
really
really
up right
interested.
now. They
And
play Oklahoma
they-
State next.
Oh.
This Friday.
I apologize. Arizona State does play BYU.
Dude, I love their schedule.
Their schedule
They got
looks good.
Oklahoma State next, and then they got UCF, and then they got Utah. They got Kansas, so Kansas should be.
They'll
whatever.
definitely drop one of those games.
Then Arizona State and Houston. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to win out. I don't think any Big 12 team is about to win out. If BYU went undefeated, that would be one of the most shocking
Yeah.
years. Also, they're national champions. Like, they have been national champions before, which is kind of wild.
Somebody would be winning a lot
I
of
think
money.
they were the last, like, independent
Is
team.
that before or after the resurrection?
That was, I think it was after.
Oh, they don't believe in that. Never mind. I forget.
they
Pat
literally.
shaking his head.
I think they were the last independent school, like not conference affiliate, to win a national championship, which is unheard of. So shout out to you guys out there in the
Yeah.
big stadium with your sodas.
Shout
It's
out
great.
Mitch and Ray Patterson out there in Provo.
Yeah,
Actually, no, they're not. They're in Salt Lake. But
Yeah.
shout out to my Utahns.
yeah. We forget that Utah, like the Utes, play in Salt Lake City. Like
Oh shoot, where's BYU play? They play in Provo, right?
they're like in the middle of nowhere. They're out there on their mission.
Yeah. Shout out Jay Smith, Jay Smitty.
cool.
Not really.
Wait, let's give some shout outs. Some other ones that
Just missed the
unsuspected.
cut.
Just missed the cut. You said Indiana.
Yeah, that's my.
I'm gonna go with Illinois.
Yeah.
Still
Brett Bielema.
ranked. They play Michigan this week. Big game. Shout out Illinois. It's a Big Ten action there. Besides that,
Any underachievers?
underachievers would definitely be Texas State. We're supposed
Yeah.
to win the Sun Belt. And overachievers, one hit the nail on the head. Texas A&M. I mean, I think we all thought 7-win team.
Yeah.
First
They
year,
could be a
Mike
playoff
Elko.
team.
they're sitting right tied 3-0. I mean, they're first in conference. They're 5-1, but they have played more games, so they're 3-0 in conference. So they're right above Texas.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
shout out to the Fighting Mike Elkos.
I'll also throw ULM and Louisiana in there.
Yeah, shout out to the Sunbelt West, man.
ULM, I was just looking at Sunbelts. ULM was plus 40,000 to win the Sunbelt.
Yeah.
Their win totals, 1.5. That was their projected win totals.
And they are
1.5.
5-1.
Good for them.
Hey, shout out Callie. You deserve it. It's a lot of losing seasons to endure to get this.
I thought she went to ULL.
No, she went to ULM.
Oh.
Warhawks, baby. They
Warhawks.
got a new coach. We should have seen this coming.
My last one here is I had really high expectations for Butch Jones and the Arkansas State Red Wolves.
He's still there.
This is a...
What do you know? He's
Yeah.
going to get fired at the end of the season.
All right.
So
What do you know?
he deserves it.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say we don't have time for overreactions.
No, we don't.
So
Save him for next week.
we'll save them for
it.
next week.
Yeah, just a little tease.
Let's go ahead and since we're missing Juice in the studio today, let's go ahead and send it over to Juice to give us some of his picks and updates for this next week.
What do you got, Juice?
Well, nothing to be happy about this week, gents. We went 1-5. My team lost in overtime and completely gave the game away. Our only bet that hit was the sim bet. Otherwise, our close beats were Penn State -4 versus USC. They won by 3. Louisville -7 versus UVA. They won by 4. And that was about all that was close. I had OSU -3.5 and Coastal +9, which was a terrible, terrible take. So that was this past week. Looking forward, looking in the forward direction. Let's go backwards. My sim game this week is Troy versus South Alabama under 54.5. That's our sim game of the week. Another fun bet I love is Kansas State -3 versus WVU. My free money bet of the week is Vandy -26.5 versus Ball State. I'm just riding the lightning, riding the momentum there. My best beats Michigan -1 versus Illinois. Interesting that that's just basically a pick 'em, but we're going to ride with that. Cal -10 versus Jackson's NC State Wolfpack. Sorry, Jackson. We gotta ride. Things are not great here in Raleigh. Okay, and then my game of the week is kind of a wild one, but I'm taking Colorado +3.5 versus Arizona this week. I don't know if my picks were actually called out this week, but you can check those out on our Instagram at intentionalgrounding.pod, and we will hopefully get back on track this week.
Wow. Okay. Thanks, Juice.
All right.
That's good.
Let's see if you can...
Not what I would picked, but
I don't know, man.
we'll see.
I like it, Juice. I'm riding with you this weekend.
All right. Final segment into our picks of the week.
Well, yeah, let's recap the week.
I don't even
7
want to
picks.
recap that. We don't. There's no need to.
People did
Real
pretty good.
quick.
Some people did not do good at
Alex
all.
Gilliland
0-5.
went 0-5,
I was
and
just coming back.
there's a 3-way tie. Me, Juice, and Jackie. We're gonna see who can separate themselves from the pack.
This
week.
Oh.
I'm still only like one behind Pat.
No, you're not.
Oh,
Look
I
at
didn't scroll down. No, I'm
Yeah.
not. Just kidding.
You're 4 games behind.
Yeah, I'm 4 games. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But this week, first pick, we got Nebraska at Indiana. Ooh, this is a fun little Big Ten matchup. Jackie.
We don't need to. We don't.
Well, I'm just going to say it. Jackie got Indiana.
You don't want me to do my spiel from last week?
No.
Hey, I got rave
takes more time.
I got rave reviews on that. All right, Jackie's taking Indiana. Gilly, who you got?
Give me Indiana as well. I can't pick Matt Rule. I'm not going to pick him again.
I'm surprised with that pick right there.
Because it's smart.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. You need to
I
come
don't know.
back.
Pulling some brain
What?
cells together.
Yeah, Indiana's -7, so Indiana's favored. But I mean, I could see Nebraska.
I guess I'm
winning this
next. I'm gonna go. Oh man, I'm gonna go Indiana as well. I think. I mean, a vibes pick. I want to take Nebraska, but I really think Kurt Cignetti is a top 10 coach in college football. He's got that team rolling, of course, but also he's getting the student section involved a lot more this year. He's getting those crowds something to cheer for. I think it's going to be pretty electric there in Hoosier Daddy Nation. So give me the the Hoosiers. Yeah, give me the Hoosiers here.
Come on.
Yeah, hi Georgia. I also really want to take Nebraska here, but I kind of just want to see how long Indiana can go. We'll go Indiana.
I mean, they're favored. It's not a bad pick.
I'm gonna take Indiana here. Hi, sweetie. Come here.
Hi, Georgia.
Georgia's back.
Georgia's back.
All
Come on,
right,
Georgia.
and y'all will find out Saturday morning who Juice picks.
That's right.
Moving
Next
on to the
up.
next game, we have
Nope, licking the mic, grabbing the mic.
Oh,
We got Michigan, number 24
That's some
Michigan, at
dog
number
ASMR.
22 Illinois. The line is Michigan -1.
This is gonna be a great game, I think.
oh, that's gonna be some
I hope.
real big dog ASMR right there.
Georgia, chill. All these viewers on YouTube getting the.
Jackson this weekend, Michigan, Illinois. He's got Illinois.
Yeah.
He's got the Brett Bielema's not a believer in Sharon Moore and that really good passing offense Michigan has this year. All right, Illinois, Gilly, who you got here this weekend?
Give me. You know what? Give me Michigan.
Let's go.
I think Michigan is a very boring team, and I do not like rooting for them. But I think that their foundation is set up so well that I think they could win. Like Illinois, I've watched them too many times this season, and congrats to what they've done. That's awesome. It's at Illinois, so they do have that buffer. But give me Michigan. I think they're just gonna play more physical. They're gonna run the ball. Illinois could not stop the run against Penn State, and I think Michigan is going to do the same game plan. They're just going to take copy, paste.
For probably the third or fourth time in my life, I'm actually going to agree with you, Alex.
Let's go.
Give me the Wolverines. Give me Big Blue Nation. This game's going to be ground and pound. I think Michigan has the advantage there. I think they have the better defense. And this is a game, like, pride-wise, Michigan can't lose this game.
Yeah.
Expectation-wise, they can't lose this game.
No.
I don't think they will. So,
No.
go Big Blue. Or
Ricky, who you got?
I also have Michigan.
wow.
Wow.
I think that was a shocker. I didn't think everybody was going to take Michigan, so I was like,
Yeah.
I think maybe I'll be
You
the
thought
only
you were
one to
gonna
take
get the little
Michigan. I thought
eclectic pick
just
there.
like last week when with taking Oregon, I was like, maybe I'll get that one.
Well, Jackson's the smartest one here, and you got Illinois. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
I'm feeling a little dicey.
Yeah.
So many things are up in the air.
Yeah.
But I
We're
like
also at the
Michigan.
point, like, if you want to win if you want to have the best record at the end of the season, you
Yeah.
gotta take some.
We need to create an award for this,
A
by the
Stanley
way.
Cup. The big
Hey, no,
big
don't
championship.
buy that.
What are you saying, semi-pro? What was the thing they were playing for? The ABA championship? It's the Flint Tropics
I don't know.
World Championship. That's what we got.
I don't watch
Cool.
movies. I read
Next
books.
up, we got Alabama. Number 7, Alabama at number 11, Tennessee. Alabama's favored. Line is -2.5.
Who does Jackie
Jackie.
have?
It looks like he has the Fighting Binkies, so I'm assuming that is Tennessee. So
Okay.
I also am taking Tennessee.
Duh, stop it.
So we'll see. I think
Tennessee.
Alabama they're not frauds, but you can't get lucky again. Like they have escaped death a couple times.
Twice now.
Yeah. They did not escape it with Vandy. So that's the only reason I think that they could be fired up. But they came out flat again this time. South Carolina should have won that game. So I think playing at Tennessee, that environment, I mean, we'll see.
We'll take it. Thanks for your pick. My mom made a great point today as she was driving me to the airport last night. She said Tennessee and Bama have looked like stale chips so far this year.
Yep.
It's time to find out which chip is crispy.
There we go.
And
Mama Binks.
I bleed orange. I think the crispy chip coming out of this weekend is going to be my Tennessee Volunteers.
Come on.
I'm a little nervous, of course. I'm actually extremely nervous. Probably can't even put into words how nervous I am about our offensive line and the way our offense is produced. But we still have the number 9 offense in the country and the number 2 defense in the country. And I think defense travels, defense wins championships. And I think that, Jalen Milroe, he's going to put up big numbers, and Ryan Williams is going to have some big plays in this game, of course. But I think rubber meets the road. Our defense is going to be able to make the play that wins us the game. So,
yeah,
give me the Vols.
Love it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to ride. Give me Alabama.
Oh,
I'm taking Alabama here. I was never gonna take Tennessee.
Man.
I think Alabama's still the better team. I know they've
That's
had
fair.
some close calls. I'm high on Jalen Milroe. Their offense is great. Ryan Williams, insane 17-year-old boy. He's a boy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's a boy that plays like a man.
There's a child.
Yeah.
You don't need to say the word.
a child, man.
It's getting kind of
Stop
weird.
saying boy.
Yeah.
Pat, stop.
He's a little boy.
Yeah, you can get our podcast blocked.
I like Alabama here. Unfortunately, sorry, Binky.
That's
I
fine.
don't mean
Hey,
in any way.
we're objective reporters.
That's right. We're the experts. To give it straight.
But yeah, I'm gonna take Bama here.
Love it. All right, next up we got number 6 Miami at Louisville. Miami is favored. It's -4. So we got
back.
Jackson. Jackson's got Miami. The Cam Wards.
Hold on real quick. We're doing this live. Alex, can you take me home after this?
Yeah.
Ride share is pretty expensive.
Yeah, I can take you.
You're the man. Thank you. Still don't have a car.
Yeah, shout out to insurance companies.
No, it's not insurance. It's the body shop. Collision
Shout out to
Center,
the body
and
shop.
They suck.
Yeah, they're backed up, man. A lot of bodies they got to work on. I'm going to take, in this Miami-Louisville matchup, give me Louisville. I think
Okay.
Miami cannot survive as much as they have.
Yeah.
They've shown
gotten
their
lucky.
weakness. Louisville has already dropped one to SMU. I think they're fired up. It's at Louisville. I like their chances. I think it's going to be close, but I think they're going to win by at least 7.
Okay.
Bink?
So it is me. Miami. Give me Miami. I think Louisville's a really good team, but Miami has gotten lucky. I think twice now this year. But both instances I think are pretty easy fixes for them. So give me the Canes.
Come on. Love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Canes as well. I think I feel like they've just been. I feel like they're this year's FSU. In the space where, yeah, they have close games. Yeah, they're a good team, but they get disrespected by the committee.
Yeah.
They're ranked number 6 right now, and they're undefeated.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna drop off at some point. I just don't think that will be the regular season. I think it will be in the championship game. I think they will
Lose to
ACC
Clemson.
championship.
ACC championship game. I think we're going to see an absolute blowout.
Clemson over Miami.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'm going to take Miami here. I was high on Louisville at the beginning. I don't think I can get there
They're
anymore.
hard to watch.
Yeah.
A little hard to watch. Cool. Last pick, game of the week. Is this game day?
is.
Game day's here.
Austin,
Georgia,
Texas.
number 5 Georgia Bulldogs at the number 1 in the nation Texas Longhorns. Texas is favored by it's -3.5. So
Who's Jackson have?
Jackson's got Austin, Texas.
All right.
I am going to go with the Georgia Bulldogs here. I don't think
there's a bad pick in this game.
Yeah, I
think it's
think
hard.
that both of these teams are really good. It's going to come down to the wire. Give me the more experienced Georgia team over Texas. I think McConaughey is going to lose some hair and have to use some more
That'd
of
be
that.
a bad
I
thing for
can't
all
wait
the
to see-
moms out
I
there.
can't wait
true.
to see him at this game.
Yeah, his
What's that
orange
mean?
suit.
I can't wait to see him
Yeah.
Are you going to see him?
Do you know him?
on TV.
Yeah, that's right.
I might,
Kayla?
I might watch Interstellar before that.
Yeah, just to get hyped.
Yeah.
It's a little dialed up. This is a really hard one for me. I think it sounds crazy because I hate Georgia more than anything, but I want Georgia to win this game. I need Georgia to win this game.
I think, as a Tennessee fan, you need Georgia to win.
So I got to ride with the Bulldogs here. Enough said. I'm done.
Wouldn't you rather have like a 2-loss Georgia?
No.
Like if you have to play Georgia?
I don't want them to lose. I don't want them to come in. I don't want us going into Athens with 2 losses.
Yeah.
And that's just going to give them even more fuel. And they're probably going to kick our ass anyways, but they'll probably beat us embarrassingly if they lose this game against Texas. That's just my opinion. So give me the Dogs. Don't let it happen.
Come on.
I do think Texas is going to win, but
Yeah.
I can't. My pick is Georgia.
Hey Georgia. Hey Georgia.
Speaking of what,
Coming into last week, I had planned on picking Georgia for this game because I didn't know how the Texas OU game was going to pan out.
Yep.
But after seeing Texas dismantle OU, I'm going to take Texas.
Yeah.
One of my overreaction questions for y'all was, we'll save it. No, it's not. It's not worth saving. This question in specific is not worth saving. But the question was, is there a clear-cut number 1 team for the college football playoff? And I think that is Texas
for sure.
I think that is Texas. I don't think there's any team. Like, I think there's Texas, and then you have a layer of like 6 or 7 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That could be number 2.
Yeah.
Like Oregon could be argued for number 1 because they have a win over Ohio State. But Texas is good this season. They are very good. I'm going to take Texas here. I can see Texas going undefeated this season.
Come on. Horns up, baby. Come on. Well, that's our show. Thanks for joining in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, on X, on TikTok, on Truth Social, on...
Whoa, no. Not there.
Yeah, we have a lot of followers.
That's actually our biggest following is Truth Social.
It's crazy. They love what we're saying. They love Binky especially. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
It's because I always spit facts, man.
Yeah.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
All right. Stay grounded.